Okay, recording has started. We are in session 26, also known as session 24, part 3. It's been a few weeks since we last played, so sort of a recap as we're in the middle of the action. So currently the carts are about halfway through the trap that you've set up. You've robbed from some stuff from the first two carts, but they are now clear of the darkness area. Carts 3 and 4 are now centrally in that, and carts 5 and 6 are still in the back, ready to go through. So the current condition of your stuff, you have 2 full chests that you pulled up on their own, and you have a third chest which is 4 of the sort of fake chests that were only a little bit filled, all combined into one chest. That chest is shrunken, is a little pocket-sized chest, and the gold inside it just kind of looks like glitter right now. You have 3 now empty shrunken chests like that you were intending to take back, because your allotment, according to the Thieves Guild, is to steal 7 of their chests of gold. Also, one of your teammates took 3 of the stickers, or was given 3 of the stickers, and you have not seen them since. They dove into the darkness area of your ambush and have not yet emerged. So they may have 3 more chests, or they may not. At some point, once you guys had secured a significant amount of treasure, you did alert the other brigands that have been encouraged to assist you in the ambush, that the good chests are the ones mounted on the front and back of the carriages, whereas the ones inside the carriages are decoys. An inversion of the usual way of doing business. And yeah, so that's where we're at. I currently have an initiative order that tells me that it is Francis's turn.
All right. If I recall correctly, I'm back up on the roof.
Yes, that is consistent with my notes. I have you as currently on the roof, and you do not have a spell of dark vision.
Correct. I definitely can't see in the dark. Okay, I'm trying to think about what I'm going to do. So up here on the roof with me would be me, Jackie's character, and Troy's character, I think, right?
Yep, Trumpy and Mina are up there with you.
And then down below we've got Araxi, at least to my knowledge.
Araxi, Elros, Glup, and Wampy are not on the roof with you, which presumably means below in the darkness, trying to steal more treasure.
Oh yeah, I forgot Wampy was there too. So Wampy and Glup are down there. Okay.
Glup,
and right now...
Yeah. Glup took the 3 empty chests down there, so Glup is probably trying to put those back, now that the gold is out of them.
Yeah, basically I'm trying to do some accounting here to try and figure out how many more chests we have left to steal. Glup's putting back 3?
Yes.
Does that mean we only have 1?
No. You have 1 shrunken chest, and 2 full-size full chests.
Got it.
It was revealed that the chests that were inside the carriage are about 3/4 full of rocks, to make them feel heavy. So you guys tossed out the rocks, poured the gold from 3 of them into a 4th one, and are taking the 3 empty ones back.
So why are we taking the 3 empty ones back?
Because they don't have treasure in them, and we could steal 7 chests.
So basically, we're like taking the chests, emptying them out, putting them back, and then it's like as if we didn't take them.
We basically we took 3 of the fake chests and consolidate it into one good chest.
Exactly.
Got it. But it still counts as 4 stolen.
If we put them back.
Wouldn't it count for the... I'm talking about for the Thieves Guild. They don't care whether or not we put them back. They still think it still counts as stolen goods.
Only if they know.
But don't they know everything?
Do they?
Yeah. Well, okay. So, sounds like right now we have 4 stolen, so we need to take 3 more. Let's see.
Well, you currently have 3 stolen. You have two chests that you took as chests with no magical gizmos or anything. You use the rope. I guess it's kind of a magic gizmo. You use your magic rope to make them weightless and pull them up. But they are still normal chest-sized chests. And then you have 1 little tiny matchbox-sized chest that will probably in about an hour become a full-size chest again, full of its gold.
Got it.
It has the gold from itself and the other 3 chests, and there were some like pebbles that you tossed out of it that were at some point nice big rocks that were making it feel heavy.
Cool. Okay. God, all of this is like making it really complicated to calculate because, like, technically, if we were only allowed to steal from 7 chests, does that mean 7 chests that were full of treasure, or is the Thieves Guild going to consider if there were rocks in the chest that technically that counts as a chest still, and like the rocks would have been what we stole?
I'm hoping for arbitration.
Yeah, they're so it's not necessarily going to be arbitration between you and the Thieves Guild. It's going to be arbitration between you and any other thieves that are waiting to steal whatever you guys don't get. You were awarded first picks, so you get to pick 7 chests to steal. And there are other thieves that will be further down the road that are going to make their own attempts.
Basically, we'll just have to lie to them.
Yeah, like they could
put some
we're
chests
putting back empty chests, so they could go and steal an empty chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's
And if
not
you do it
above the
right-
mining cooperative to put decoys in, right?
Right. It would be the mining cooperative's fault that it's empty, not yours.
Those 3 chests that went missing, we didn't steal them. The random mercenaries. You talk to them. If you can track them down.
So technically, we can steal 4 more chests.
That's your belief, yes.
And do we still have any more of the things that can make the chest small? Okay, cool.
The last 3 were given to Araxi. You had 1 for each chest you were allowed to steal. Glup went down with 4. Araxi went down with 3. Glup came back with 4 chests. Araxi has not come back yet.
Got it. Wait, you just said... I'm sorry that I'm harping on the numbers here, but you just said Glup came back with 4 chests, but we currently have 3?
Yes, because 3 of those chests were bullshit chests. They had rocks in them. We consolidated those.
Yeah, we could
And
take
putting
those
them back.
patches off, right?
Got it. Okay, yeah. So then only 1 of Glup's chests remain, and then the other 2 that are on the bandolier.
This is just a rule of GMing. If any of you guys ever GM, just expect anytime you need to explain something, you will have to explain it. This is the math on it. A number of times equal to the number of players plus 1.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. It's been a while, and it was really complicated. That we played a game of musical chairs with these chests. So
yeah.
So now I think I get it now. So what I'm trying to deduce is what methods I might have to even acquire a chest, because I'm a small child and it's not like I can go grab them. So it sounds like the bandolier, someone needs to go down there with the bandolier to get, or the rope. I'm just calling it a bandolier.
I believe that we have the rope down, and that Tice's, one of Tice's characters, I think Tice has 2 active, brought that rope and those 3 small chests down already. I believe that's what we ended on.
Yeah. At this point, I'm Francis. I can't see down there. I just got back up here. So now I don't think it makes any, and I don't have anything that can help. I could jump down there and then be blind and not be able to help at all.
When you
So
you just got out of that situation. You were down there for a bit, and you've used magic to teleport yourself back up to the roof. So
I'm just trying to like narrow down what even could I do feasibly that would be helpful. So at this point, we have the caravan kind of stopped, and we're trying to keep them from moving. So maybe I might try and figure out some way to keep them stopped longer while Glup is down there doing his thing.
So what you see going on down there as far as the caravans, because you can't see what's in the darkness, but the darkness field doesn't quite cover the tops of the caravans. So you can see that there's 6 carts, each of which, and they're like a carriage basically that will like hold people, except that instead of people they're holding goods. Each of them is pulled by a pair of ox, and the oxen are being prodded forward by the guards that are guarding this caravan. The guards have stopped fighting the sort of rogues that are coming up out of the sewers to help you guys out, and have gone into a full push. And the last round they made a lot of progress. 2 of the guards are these particularly scary women that look like they could probably just murder people without a second thought. The rest of them are drinking these potions that make them buff up really beefy, but they do not appear to be as well trained as the 2 women that are just absolutely terrifying to look at. They're like wearing pieces of slain demon as casual outerwear. It's horrifying.
Is the caravan moving?
Yes. Caravan is in motion. They made significant progress the last round. So they're definitely making progress. They're halfway through right now. They need to get the 2 carts that are in the darkness out of it, the 2 carts that are ahead of them further away so that they can make some space, and they need to get the 2 carts that are behind the darkness into the darkness and out the other side. And they've decided to abandon their attempts to stop the theft and just go for a push. Which means that there's probably not much time left to do things, unless you have a way to stop them.
On the roof where we're at, is there anything up here?
There was a bench, like a park bench, but that was thrown down in front of the caravans at the beginning of the ambush to try and slow them down. And it worked for a time. But they eventually trampled it. Right now, what you have is a roof and your wits. And 3 chests of gold, which, 2 regular sized and 1 matchbook sized. Where is the matchbook sized? Like, who's carrying that, or where are you storing it?
I have no idea. I don't think I've got it, though.
Well, it was left on the roof. Somebody was working on getting the gold into it.
I believe that's what Mita was doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably beside the 2 big chests.
All right, so you've got 2 big chests and 1 tiny little chest sitting next to Mina, who is operating the wench for the magical rope that you guys made.
Are there any lanterns up here?
That is a great question. It did have a park bench, but typically this neighborhood would not have lanterns. However, I will allow you to make a resource check, and with 2 successes, I will say that yes, there is a lantern that you can find.
Yeah, there's not a lantern.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so I think that I'm just trying to think of any possible thing I could do. I'm just gonna pass my turn for now. Actually, I realized I could do that, so I'll
Okay.
hold my turn, or hold my action, or whatever.
I have forgotten what shorthand I was using for held action. I'm going to make one up. All right. Which brings us to Elros. Elros, you're in the dark, but you've got the dark vision.
Yeah, and I think I currently have the chests. I think Elros is the one with the chests currently.
Okay. One of you had the chest, the other one had the rope. So whichever of your characters.
Yeah, Clep is more of the aerobatic person. Yeah. Elros is just gonna go to the side of one of the things and put the chests back, the 3 empty chests back there, and try to see if he can rip off the stickers off.
So the doors to cart number 3 are already open, so you can just walk in. And there are 3 chests missing from this cart. So you can put the 3 that you have back in that position.
And I'll see if I can rip off the stickers or if they're stuck on there.
Awesome. So I would like you to remove the stickers. That's, I guess that's kind of like an agility thing. What skill would be that for removing a sticker? This is a weird one. I want you to roll an agility plus scholarship. Agility and scholarship don't get a lot of opportunities to go together, but this is one of those situations. You're removing a magic item, basically like a temporary patch potion. You're removing it from the object that was enchanted. And it's itty-bitty. It's the size of like I said, a matchbox. You want to do this without hurting yourself, so you got to be careful how you position it and how you take it off. And I'm just gonna rule that you only have to make this roll once, and we'll just apply the result to all 3 chests.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any pips I can get from you, but I don't know. I think there is. Actually, you said this was agility, right?
Yes. Yeah, you don't have time for this to be focused. You need to get it done and get out before you get hurt.
I'm going to still roll some dice, but it's going to be a little bit less. But I'm going to gain 2 successes because I'm going to spend agility to gain successes due to grace.
Okay.
So I have 2 successes plus whatever. 4 successes.
Okay. You successfully remove the first sticker without hurting yourself. Francis, it might have been a good thing that you held your turn, because the little matchbook box next to Mina starts to rattle, and some little flecks of gold that you guys missed on the roof that you didn't quite get into the cage start pinging as they become full-size coins and popping up off the roof like popcorn. And then the chest kind of explodes a little bit. You get the second sticker off down there with no knowledge of what's going on up above. And full on, like, 2/3 of that tiny chest's gold is now full-size gold, and it has just blasted the chest apart, and the gold is scattering across the roof. And as you pull the third one off, a final set of gold from that pile pops up into reality. There is a 4th sticker somewhere stuck to a fragment of this tiny box up on the roof. Its magic is still holding about 1/4 of the total gold that was in it, as tiny little flecks of what looks like gold glitter. But the rest of the gold has resumed full size.
Does that mean that whoever else has the other 3 chests
I imagine not, because these coins have nothing to do with the ones you've removed.
Yeah, you enchanted 4 chests. You dumped the contents of 3 of them into one of them, and then disenchanted those 3.
Ah.
There you go.
Whoops.
You still have the
Dave
gold
has
up there, but
waited
somebody
2
somebody
weeks to
needs to
do
start
that to
sweeping that gold up, and somebody probably should find the other sticker from the exploded box to get the rest of the gold.
Yeah.
Dave has been sitting on that reveal for 2 weeks.
2 whole weeks I've been sitting on that.
Damn. So I had to get up to get our dog some medicine, so I kind of missed the last little bit there. What happened with the...
So, you know how we took 4 chests worth of contents and dumped it into 1?
Yeah.
And then we just removed the shrinking thing from the 3 empty chests. The 4th chest exploded.
Who has that one?
It was sitting next to Mina up on the roof.
Oh, no.
It's a good thing you held your action.
Good thing you held your action, yeah, because there's now gold coins are now covering the roof.
That's amazing.
3/4 of what was in that box resumed full size and exploded the box.
Yeah.
The other quarter are basically glitter, and unless you disenchant the last of the 4 enchantments, good luck ever finding those coins.
Was it because the box was enchanted, but the contents were not?
It's because the box and its contents were enchanted, and then the enchantment was dispelled.
Okay.
The contents were separated from the box, but the enchantment still held until it was torn out, and then spell is over.
Whoops. I guess that was Elros's turn.
That was Elros's turn. But Francis, you held your action, so you can go now if you want to do something about the gold issue.
Okay, so we've got... How many boxes do we have now on the roof?
You have 2 boxes and a 3/4 of a box worth of gold as coins scattered across the roof, and a shattered, somewhere amongst that mess, shattered pieces of a shrunken box with about a 1/4 box's worth of gold dust that will, in about an hour, become full-size coins for whoever is on this roof to retrieve them. Unless you can find the sticker and disenchant it to get them back to full size so you can clean it all up into a bag or something.
Well, I will definitely grab the gold dust and toss that in my pockets.
The question is, where is the gold dust?
I can't see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the
Yeah,
box it
looking-
was in exploded. It's all over the place. It's scattered across the roof like glitter. Imagine somebody took a box of glitter and then, like, detonated it with a firecracker in your living room. And now you're trying to find every piece of glitter because each one is a gold coin that is like, extremely valuable.
And you're doing it with no tools other than your hands.
Yeah.
While your friends are in an alleyway below you trying to steal more gold. Yeah.
And have no idea that this just happened.
This is a real comedy of errors here. Is there only gold dust that exploded up here, not actual coins?
Oh, there's actual coins, right?
Yeah. The 3 chests that were disenchanted, their contents became full size. So 3/4 of the gold that was in that chest is now full size gold coins scattered all over the roof. Those you could easily pick up. They're quite visible in the sun. Gold has a very distinctive shine.
Yeah, you just have to find the last ticker to rip it off.
Yeah, and based on my last inspection of the roof, there is now nothing up here really, except for a couple people and nothing else.
A couple people, a mechanical winch with a magically enchanted rope that makes anything you tie to it weightless, and a two chests of gold, and a third chest's worth of gold scattered all over the roof.
All right, so Francis starts taking off his clothes. He's going down to his skivvies, and he's going to start filling his clothes with coins and tying them onto the rope.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. This is like an improvised crafting check. That's pretty cool.
He's not a crafter, so we'll see how good he is at doing this.
It doesn't have to be very good. As long as you can get at least one success, you'll have something that will at least hold gold. It won't survive like severe trauma or anything. It's not a secure bag, but you'll have something that'll, as long as you mind it and tend it carefully, you'll be able to carry things around. But on two successes...
Can I help with my engineering?
Yeah, if you are up there and you want to help.
I am up there, and I would love to help.
All right, Francis, do you want to hold your turn?
Sure.
And get Trompy's help, and we'll have some twin action?
Yeah.
She should be able to roll advantage. So engineering and what? Perception?
It'll be, engineering plus perception. That's a good one.
Do I get to take advantage of my erudite potential here?
Which potential?
Erudite.
Which skills?
Scholastic thing? The scholastic potential?
It's like scholastics and medicine, right?
Let me look.
Because this is supposed to be like a Trompy knows a little bit of everything kind of thing?
I think so, yeah. Maybe somewhere I read a book on clothing origami or some shit. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that can apply. Absolutely.
Awesome.
And yeah, your turn will be coming up shortly. So next up is Glup. What are you up to? Glup, you are down in the dark. You have the night vision. Elros has successfully returned the chests. The cart that Elros returned the chest to is on its way out of the dark. There's a fourth cart coming up, and there's two more carts behind. But they're picking up speed fast.
Okay, so I guess I'll go to the one that's like the third one's still in. So I guess there's the two chests on the back of the third one.
You get there, and there are not. It looks like with the guards focused on pushing, the other burglars have come and taken the chests from off of the back.
Okay, I guess I gotta go to the front of the fourth one.
Front of the fourth one is also missing, but you can see, because you have the dark vision, that the back of the fourth ones are still there. There are two men coming up out of a sewer drain, and they look like they're about to make a beeline for them.
I guess I gotta make a beeline for them as well to get there.
Alrighty. Let's see, a quick athletics check to see if you can get there before they do. Vigor plus athletics.
Yes, Glup, the master of athletics.
Really? Vigor plus athletics? Ooh.
Okay. Glup has an athletics of 0.
Okay. So, they definitely get there first, but you can negotiate with them. They are kind of on your team. Kind of. They're on Reggie's team. Let's be fair. They also have dark vision, so they see you coming. They're not talking, but they are sort of using hand signs.
I'll look them with a rub in my hand, like if you let me have these two, I'll make sure that to hide the reports of your thefts from the Thieves Guild, or I'll make it like I'll make sure the plans for yours are like, considered legitimate.
This is legitimate. Reggie did the paperwork. What we're doing is we're reclaiming lost wages.
I see.
What you got there? He's pointing at your rope.
Oh, this rope. Oh, we were using it to pull up the gold to get it easier to take away.
He nods and says, "Clever. If I can use your rope, you can have one chest, we'll take the other. Sound fair?"
All right.
Cool. So they help you load the 2 chests on to the rope.
I guess I'll tug.
Excellent. Next up is Wampy. Wampy also has dark vision, although a very different kind. And
A dark vision of stubbornness.
yeah, Wampy simply refused to be blind, and the universe was forced to comply. And also down in the dark, Wampy, what are you up to?
So, as far as Wampy knows, we have stolen 3 chests, and now Glup has 2 more, or 1 more, I guess, technically.
One more, and the other one is promised to the bandits, yeah. Or mercenaries, they're not really bandits, they're mercenaries, yeah. They're only bandits today.
Whew. The caravan is picking up speed, right?
Yes. They've stopped fighting the bandits, which is why the bandits are able to grab treasure now. As all the super strong and super scary people are focusing on pushing the carts, getting the oxes going, and...
Can Wampy slip in and cut off one of the, like, caravans so that it, like, is no longer attached to the bulls, thereby causing another roadblock where they have to reattach it?
You absolutely can attempt to do that. Now, this is going to be a contest between you and the people that have given up on protecting the treasure to protect the oxen.
Well, I'm not going to the ox. I'm just trying to sleep in, like, between their feet. I'm a tiny little halfling and they're blind, and just go snip, snip. But, yeah, that's basically what I want to do.
Yeah, you're going up to where the ox driver is and where the people, like, handling the oxen are. That's the space that you're entering into.
Okay.
Yeah,
but they're blind and I'm not.
That is true. And so that gives you a huge advantage in that situation. I'm not saying you can't do it, I'm just making sure you understand the situation.
Yep, it's a contested roll, I get. Okay. I am actually going to be putting down quite a bit here.
Okay. Because they're blind, their threshold is 8. So even though they're rolling a lot of dice, they are not necessarily going to do super well on those dice. Unless they get supremely lucky.
Alright. I'm going to use my lessons of the small to make it even because this is going to be really hard for them to also not just spot a normal person, but spot a halfling.
Excellent. Well, details-wise, what does Lessons of the Small do? Is it pips?
Pips. Plus
Nice.
2.
Awesome.
It's technically plus 2 for sneaky, but I think that it should apply here. I guess the question is, important question, are the ropes natural ropes? Like woven ropes from natural stuff?
So what they have is they have a wooden beam that goes forward from the cart and then has 2 arches that go over each of the oxen.
Oh, so I'm basically cutting wood in this case.
Either wood or you're trying to detach the oxen from the beams. So the oxen have little shoulder harnesses that are like these leather straps.
Okay.
So that their pull together pulls on that beam to move the cart forward.
That makes sense. I actually, if I add my druidic potential to this, can I just, like, as part of this, use, like, a little bit of druidism to separate the wood?
Yeah. If your magic's not
Alright.
taxed out yet, then absolutely. Manipulating wood would be well within the stuff that you were being taught by
No,
sappers.
I taxed solipsism, not druidism, so
Oh, hey, yeah, go for it.
add that with my I think this still counts as we stick together. It's the overarching heist, right?
Um,
If not, I could just say that this is a shameless act by Wampy.
I think that makes more sense. This
Because
is
that
a
works
shameless
for
act, yeah.
unabashed. So, I think that that's all I have for this. Because I don't have an outfit.
You're trying to beat one success.
Alright.
All right, you do it. Is this to cart number 4?
Is cart number 4 like the furthest ahead right now?
No, the furthest ahead is cart number 1. Cart number 1 is
I
gone
mean,
and
furthest
out of it.
ahead within the darkness. Sorry.
No, cart number 3 is like peeking out of the darkness. Their ox are finally out of the darkness, and the cart itself is about to pull out.
If that wouldn't have changed like the threshold thing, then
No,
I would rather
purely
have
a
done it on
strategic
3
decision.
because I just want to stop the caravan, make them have to get everybody there, and then resume.
Okay, so you're going to do it to cart number 3.
Yeah.
Got it. All right.
That way, there's just now they have to reattach the oxen. It's a whole thing. And then Wampy's just going to run off and back into the darkness, like, haha.
So you added another 4 to their what they have to overcome, bringing their total they need to overcome from 28 to 32.
And Wampy's just going to taunt them, like, haha, you're terrible at this.
Very good. Running distraction. So this brings us to the Francis Trompy combo team. You guys are going to try and do some crafting.
Yes, indeed.
Which one is crafting and who is assisting?
I'm assisting. I'm assisting with an engineering role.
Well, I don't really have the crafting ability, so I assume she'll be Bax. Wait, no, not Bax. Chompy?
Chompy, yeah. Chompy.
Chompy will be doing the crafting, and Francis will
encourage-
assist.
Yep, that sounds better.
Alrighty. Francis, what are you doing to help?
So I have a lot of scholarship. Maybe I could lean on my knowledge and or maybe I can do like a leadership kind of thing. Like I'm just looking over Chompy's shoulder.
Okay. Using your scholarship can be helpful. So go ahead and make your roll, and those will become pips for Trompy's roll.
Cool. Do I combine that with an aptitude or just the skill?
Aptitude is always applied, yeah.
Cool. I assume maybe focus?
Perception.
You don't have a lot of time to focus. This would require probably some cunning.
Okay, cool. Cunning.
And then does my erudite potential reduce the threshold?
No. Your erudite potential gives you dice.
Oh, so I can roll 2 dice additional.
In addition to whatever you're doing, you also roll your erudite potential, yeah. Potential is a powerful way to advance a character into a very, very specialized field. Alright, you get a pip.
And we don't get anything for we stick together?
Oh, yes, you guys do, because you are sticking together. It's Wampy that's gone rogue.
Okay, and then, so how does that play into my roll?
You have advantage. So, if you didn't have erudite potential, you could have used something else.
Got it. 4 successes.
4 successes. So you beat the required
bag.
1 success by 3. So you can add some additional features to this. In addition to being a basic cloth sack, what else have you engineered?
Could we make multiple sacks out of multiple people's clothing?
Yeah. Narrate whatever it is you want.
Well, considering... Okay, I need some information here. How much gold are we trying to stuff into these bags, and how much can these bags hold?
Okay, so to give you sort of an idea of the size of these chests, trying to think of a standard-sized real-world object. It's basically like three like full-size, sits outside of a business trash cans next to each other, wide and deep, but only about half as tall.
Gotcha. So it's a lot of goddamn gold we're trying to put into these bags.
Yes.
That we're making.
If another chest were to burst like that, you think there might be some risk of the roof having structural issues.
Mm-hmm.
Did we notice? I believe that Glup maybe tugged on the rope after attaching the chests to it. Did we notice that?
Mina noticed that, and Mina will take care of it after your turn.
Okay, so here's my thought. We know that things attached to the rope weigh the same as the rope. So what we're going to craft with these clothing is an apparatus that is fully attached to the rope, but simply provides a shit ton of carrying space, such that we can maximize the amount of surface area we're able to take advantage of with this clothing, and just load in as much as we can without risking spilling over.
Okay, so you've made sort of an addendum to your apparatus, which is a carrying pouch of enormous size out of the bits of what was once Francis's clothing.
Hopefully Francis wasn't wearing a special outfit.
Speaking of Mina.
All right, Mina, it's your turn. What are you doing? Sorry, that was mean. Well, welcome, Troy.
Hello. Sorry, I'm late.
No worries. The heist continues, and there has just been a pull on the rope as Glup is requesting to be pulled back up.
Funny enough, it actually was Mina's turn.
Yep.
I can't remember. Was I was helping operate.
Yeah. So you're right now the crane operator. There are 2 chests full of gold sitting next to you, and the tiny chest shrunken down that used to have a bunch of gold in it has exploded, as the gold has resumed normal size, but the chest didn't. And so that gold is scattered all over the roof, and Francis and Trompy have improvised out of Francis's... were those your school robes or something?
Yeah, I suppose, whatever my daily clothes are.
So out of some wizard's robes. So Francis took off their wizard's robes, and they've improvised a sort of large sack that's connected to your contraption. And is sort of feeding off of the magic of the rope to be able to hold all the gold. And that's, so they're in the process of doing that. But there was a tug on the rope.
Got it. So I'll engage the correct way to pull up on the rope.
All right. So you start pulling up on the rope, and smooth as can be, Glup rises up with a chest in front of them, another chest behind them, and then, not at all smooth, flailing around because they're absolutely confused about what's happening, is a mercenary that was down there with Glup and held onto the rope as it went up and did not expect to suddenly become weightless and fly up into the sky. So rising up above the darkness, just kind of flailing, afraid to let go because they quite rightly think they'll fall, but having no idea, no experience about how to control themselves in that situation the way that Glup and the rest of you guys know how to do. Next up is... Well, it would be Araxi, but I know what Araxi's doing. So next up is... is the cart. Alright, so the first thing they need to do is they need to try and deal with the destruction that Wampy has just caused.
As they do this, Wampy's just going to shout, "Sorry, not sorry."
That was a leadership test. Got 2 extra people. Alright, well, I'll see if that's enough. It is. They've overcome the 4 points of difficulty that you created for them. So narratively, what this means is that they have found a way to overcome this obstacle by getting about 14 people crammed up behind the cart to just push it. So they're just manually heaving and hoeing to get the cart going forward again. Bringing them to 19 out of 32. The cart number 3 has cleared the darkness, much lighter than when it first entered. Cart number 4 is in the middle of the darkness. Cart number 5 is entering. You basically took all of them away from the role they were supposed to be making to try and make progress.
Basically, I bought a turn.
Yeah, you bought a turn. That's right. Yeah.
Which, given that we probably don't have very many turns left, is super helpful.
Although you might not need very many turns left, you seem to have accomplished a great percentage of your goal. So yeah, now we're back to Elros. You can see that Glup has exited the situation. Elros is down there in the dark. Everybody seems to be ignoring you, though, as... Elros was in cart 3. Oh. Yeah. So Elros, cart 3 is leaving the darkness. What do you want to do?
I want to GTFO.
Not a bad plan. I'm going to need you to make an agility plus stealth to not be spotted. Or, alternatively, an agility plus athletics to get out before you leave the darkness field.
You said agility or stealth?
Agility plus stealth to sneak out, or agility plus athletics to sprint out.
I'll sneak out.
You are spotted. You took your time getting the stickers off, and that worked out. But by the time you were coming out, the darkness is receding. You tried to make a sneak, but there are 14 people outside of this cart pushing it. And, one of them spots you. You don't know how well they've identified you, but they definitely saw you. And then, presumably, because you've got dark vision, you dash back into the darkness.
Yeah.
Very good. Glup, you are landing on the roof with your 2 treasure chests and getting them lined up next to the other 2. You might be disappointed to discover that there are only the 2. The little chest is pieces. There's gold all over the roof. But yeah, that seems to be well in hand. Francis and Trumpy are cleaning that up. There is the mercenary trying to come in behind you. He's holding onto the rope for dear life. Doesn't want to float away.
I guess Glup will just pull up the rope the rest of the way to get so he lands on the roof.
He thanks you and he lands on the roof, looks at your situation and goes, "That's a nice setup. You kids have a promising future."
Yep.
Looks like your roof is paved in gold.
We lost someone.
Welcome back.
Yeah, just my button was not working that well. But yeah, I guess I'll just grab the one like promised, and I'll just hold on the rope and I'll jump back down.
Okay, you're just giving him his chest right now, and yeah.
Yeah.
All right, he's gonna. It's extremely heavy without the rope, but he just heave-hos it across the roof and down the other side to a completely different street. Wompy, we're back to you.
Well, while I think Wompy could create more chaos by basically trying the same trick again, I think Wompy might be better served by making sure we get our last 2 chests.
I mean, by your count, you just saw 2 more go up, so...
Yeah, 2 more go up.
You should be at 5. You need 2 more. Araxi's nowhere to be seen.
Yeah. So... Wompy's going to focus on that.
Cart 5 is entering the darkness, and Cart 5 has...
Oh, like Cart 5, yeah.
Yeah, fresh
Just
chests.
go Cart
Nobody's
5.
tampered with that yet.
And grab what I can.
So there's 2 chests on the front. They are extremely heavy. The drivers here are basically running solo because everybody got pulled forward to deal with Cart 3. So you can dance around them, but yeah, you'll need a way to get the piece. It does look like Glup is on the way down with the rope. If you want to work with Glup to get something going. This could be the last 2 you need.
Yeah, just basically claim them.
Look inside.
Oh, do you want me to look inside the outside chest?
I mean, if you're sure what's in there.
I mean, I thought we did. I don't think Wompy would think any differently.
Fair enough.
You can claim them so that the other mercenaries don't take any.
Yeah, I'm just going to claim them and indicate for Glup to bring the rope down because Glup can see me.
Yep. All right. Francis, Trumpy, time to do the hard part. You've built the clever device. Now you just got to start scooping gold into it. This is going to be a labor check. Because you're under time pressure, you can use labor plus vigor and just start chucking it into the bag. Or you can be careful and use labor plus agility, but it might take you a little longer.
I don't have labor on this character.
Can we I'm not necessarily part of this right away, but if there's any capability of basically tying it off on the rope, pushing it off the edge, and then fashioning a funnel. Like from anything that's up here.
To just like sweep the gold off the edge into it?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Because the rope, it would be attached to the rope hanging off the edge, and then there'd be a funnel into
They'll
it.
either give you 1 vigor or 1 agility. That's all I've got. So.
Unfortunately, the primary building materials that you could have used to assemble something, you threw off the roof in the opening round of the ambush.
That's kind of just what, like, I know I assessed what else was up here. If there's, I think that we had determined everything is like in the floors below.
Yep. So what it comes right down to is scooping with your hands.
Scoop with my hands, I guess.
I think I'll go the agility route.
Can I use a character point here somehow?
Yes.
What? How what would be the best use of my point?
The best use would be if there's some kind of talent that you have or want to invent that would be something that would solve this kind of situation. Labor has a lot of cool talents.
Let me see. But wouldn't I have to have a single point in labor to tax? Unless it specifies I can tax something else.
I think when you're spending a character point, you don't have to tax. You just
Got it.
the character point takes care of it. But the we would need to either make up or find something that is appropriate to what you're trying to do. And I seem to recall there was something about like leaving no valuable thing behind in.
Yeah. That's under crime though.
Wasn't it?
Isn't
Something
it crime?
like that. You may be right.
If that's
Let's
the
go
case,
with-
I will happily do that because I feel that's more applicable to Trumpy's. I know a little bit of that about everything vibe, more so than.
You just have a system for like scanning an area and identifying.
I've
it's called
developed a
plunder.
mental algorithm.
Yeah.
If you look up on the Talus wiki for a talent called plunder, it is
Yeah,
it's
quick
a
link, 'cause I'm
combination
struggling.
of crime and investigation. It's 3 crime, 3 investigation is its prereq, and it
Awesome.
reads, "Why steal silver when there are diamonds around? You have mastered the subtle art of rapidly appraising and grabbing the most valuable loot given the limitations of how much you can carry and how much time you have before authorities arrive. Spend 1 crime or 1 investigation to loot a scene of any non-hidden valuable items." And the gold is
I would
definitely
like-
not hidden.
Dave, I would like to do that. That's plunder, you said?
Plunder.
Can you remind me really quick how I do my bookkeeping on that? They would do a little check on the 0. Is that how I do that?
Yeah. Because you haven't fully paid for it yet. So it's not... and even when you do pay for it, you're paying for it with character points. So, yeah. Spend your character point. Add plunder. You don't fully have it yet. You have to spend 2 more character points on it to fully have it. But it's... Yeah. So you plunder. So you tax... you don't have to tax because you're using the character point to earn it. So, yeah. You get all the gold. Good job. Don't even have to roll.
Hell yeah, and that's something I can work towards as well, because I only need a few experience points to get my crime up to the prerequisite level anyways. and then just a couple character points, and I'll have that baby. That's a good skill to have for this type of character.
It is a nice skill. It's a nice skill to have for a lot of types of characters.
Oh, definitely. But I feel like the sort of like, ooh, I'm just a scholar with sticky fingers, you know? Like, I just want to get all the goodies, you know? Look at it later. Fuck yeah. We win. We get the gold, guys. We did it.
All right.
Francis was not very good at that. He was just fumbling around, dropping coins everywhere.
That's why we have triplet power. One of the three of us is gonna succeed.
Yeah, we have a 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah.
Halfling heist crew in the future.
Mina, you're up. So Glup has headed back with the rope. So there's nothing for you to do yet until you get another signal. Did you want to do anything on the roof? The pile of gold next to you is looking good. You've got 3 chests and a bag that's the size of a chest. So effectively 4 chests worth of gold of the 7 that you're allotted. There's more stuff going on down there that you can't see.
I guess at this point it depends on if the other 2 are going back down, or if I'm needed to be on the signal to get this.
Glup has gone back down with the rope.
Right. So there's 3 of us total up here now, right?
Yeah, Francis, Trumpy, and Mina are up on the roof right now. There was also a mercenary, but that mercenary has taken his share of the booty and gone. It wasn't easy, though. There's a loud crashing noise as he drags the chest over the side of a building.
That's pretty good. I think I'll hold off in case there's anything I can do kind of rapidly. Otherwise, I'll just kind of be ready.
Okay. Cart is now going to attempt to make progress. They push it 6 more units. They make serious progress. They're now at 25 out of 32. They would have been done by now if you guys hadn't been harassing them. So they're absolutely into the turns that you guys bought with your various knocking their oxen unconscious and tossing furniture in front of them shenanigans. So the severely ravaged cart number 4 is exiting. Cart number 5 is now well in, and cart number 6 is in. These are the last 2 carts. At the front of cart 5, we have Wampy marking and claiming, and Elros and Glup. Both of you are up. Glup is incoming with rope. If Elros goes and gets one and Wampy gets the other, Glup can make a quick pass with the rope through the handles, and you guys can get those 2 up and out of there in a single action.
Yeah. Wow.
Sound good?
That seems like a reasonable plan.
Yeah.
The only reason I see not doing that is if we wanted to slow them down even further, but I think we're at the end, so.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if there's a way to get to people to like because the fifth and sixth one sort of thing, the back of the 5th one, if I were to put the rope onto it and let that one go through as I wait for the other 2 to come forward and like tie them up and then yank all 3 up.
That's an idea. You could risk it and pull those 2 off, but not actually pull them up yet. keep them hidden in the darkness till you can grab a third. You have seconds to decide as Glup sails through the air.
Yeah, because Elros is gonna like try to heave off one of the chests so they can go towards the front of the two other carts.
Without the rope, the chests are nearly impossible to move. You are not a full-grown adult. So.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I'll just I guess I'll wait for Glup to come down and be able to. Let's just grab those two chests and see if we can maybe get the third one while it goes by.
All right, so you've got the two chests. Do you want to pull the rope and signal for Mina to pull you up right now, or do you want to sort of hover with these lightweight chests floating over you in the rope and see if you can grab a third?
Well, if everyone's okay with it, I think grabbing the third one would be good as it's going through because they can't see anyway. I don't think there's any risk in waiting for the third. And then that smile.
Wappy, I think, understands that these are the last two that we need to get. So Wappy wants to tug the rope. So Glup will have to explain that very quickly.
Yeah, Glup will tell them that they gave one of the chests away to be able to get those two up there. Yeah.
Tice, what I think Vivian's trying to point out is that Wampy doesn't know that one of the chests belonged to the mercenary.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get my mic to work.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess I'll just pull up the two chests for now, and then I'll see if I can double move.
Okay. Mina, you pull them up. All three come up. You now have the entire group, except for Araxi, who is still missing. The rest of you are all there. You've got 6 of the 7 chests you were told you were allowed to steal. The cart number 5 makes it through, and we're down to just cart 6. There's one last cart at the tail end of the caravan. It's still in the darkness field, but it looks like this is going to be its last turn there, unless something really drastic happens. It only needs 4 more successes to be clear. So this is it. Do you want to make a dive on it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is a time pressure situation, you basically need to do this as a single smooth action. So you're going to need to dive in at the back of the 6th cart, get your rope onto one of those, and get pulled back up again, all at once. You're going to need 4 successes. This is a agility plus acrobatics.
Can the team on the ground assist in any way?
There is no longer a team on the ground, I think. You guys all went up in the air, right?
Oh, I did think all 3 of us went up.
Oh, did anybody stay behind?
I thought what we were doing is we were looping up and Glup went up with the rope and the 2 of us on the ground stayed. Okay. That's how I was interpreting.
I had heard that Wampy pulled the rope and was going back up because Wampy thought everything was done.
I thought what was happening was Glup was explaining that in that quick second. Right. That we needed one more chest.
Glup, did you explain
I'm not sure
or did
what
you go
happened
back up
now.
there? I heard that you guys went back up, but
okay. I think that's fair for it.
Yeah, I was trying to say because my mic's built. I feel right now is it's came down and said need 3, grabbing 2.
If that's the case, the Wampy didn't tug the rope.
Okay, so yeah, Wampy's on the ground. Wampy can give a final help action, and then Wampy's going to need to get out of there because, well, actually, the darkness will probably stick around for a little bit. You can just be in a darkened alley.
Yeah. Also, Wampy's tiny. So Wampy's, I guess, going to just secure the chest, give a target, make sure, if Glup's a little offline, can react to grab Glup to pull Glup online, essentially.
Okay. So do a perception plus leadership. I think makes the most sense. So you're going to guide Glup in.
Don't have. Do I have leadership? I don't have leadership. But I can't see any way to add more die. Uh,
Whatever you get, those are going to become dice for Glup to help out, because this is a very useful thing you're doing, guiding in it, and basically holding out a hand to connect and get everything tied together.
all right, you have an extra die.
All right, you've got an extra die. So Glup, you need 4 successes to pull this off before the cart rolls away. You're doing what are you rolling? Is this your acrobatics or athletics?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out the best way to my athletics acrobatics is terrible, but I feel like
This is the kind of move that like would get a lot of applause in a circus. Is somebody like grabbing a rope, leaping off a platform, just swinging through the air, grabbing something and pulling it back up to the same platform they took off from it in one smooth motion. Or it's a tiny frog grabbing a rope, flying down, smacking face first into the side of a moving cart, getting crushed under the wheels. It's one of those two. I mean, we're going to find out.
Yeah, I do have character points, and I do have dark, so I have that advantage. I was thinking of since I have such a great crime, I have a high great at crime of being able to like, I don't know, I'm trying to think about the talent, like if there's a talent like that, we'll be able to, instead of using acrobatics or athletics to like, for like the perfect crime or whatever, to like use my crime instead.
Crime is very useful when you're being like sneaky, when you're crime is like sleight of hand kind of stuff, but this is a full-bodied acrobatic action. You're going to Tarzan swing into a moving object, grab something from off of it, and leap back again in a next to zero gravity situation.
If you have
cracking a safe doesn't really equate to this.
If you have performance, you could use a character point for. I know what I'm doing, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. If you're good at performance, I know what I'm doing is a great one. You pretend that you know how to do this, and you pretend so well that it works.
Ugh. How am I?
All right. Well, while we're waiting to find out about that, meanwhile, elsewhere in the city, Araxi is bounding from rooftop to rooftop. You're heading to Lorpin, is that correct? At the docks?
I'm heading to the docks and going to call for Lorpin.
Okay.
So I was thinking about this. The Anu have their own tongue, surely. I imagine that Lorpin or Araxi would speak it or know it that if one couldn't speak it, right?
Yeah.
So Araxi is going to be shouting, or like when Araxi gets to docks, Araxi wants to shout to Lorpin in Anu. Big.
Okay. I want Araxi to make a perception check.
Okay. Perception plus anything?
Yeah, I'm thinking about that. This would be perception plus investigation.
don't have grape. I do have a kite.
All right. You don't hear anything from Lorpin. You're able to filter the fact that filter the noise of the city. Listen for Lorpin's reply. You're not hearing any reply. On a second success, though, you also notice that there's not a lot of noise you have to filter right now. Something is quieter than it should be at the docks. Now, maybe that's because everybody's up seeing the parade of these carts go crashing through the streets as they desperately try and get to the docks, but then that's the thing. They're trying to get to the docks. Why is this particular area around Lorpin's house quiet?
All right.
Meanwhile, back at the heist, Tice, has Glup decided what they're going to do?
Yeah. Currently, I don't have any way. I don't think I'm going down at all because I don't have any way of possibility of getting 4 successes. I have 3 dice currently, without because I have stealth and crime are like my big things.
Can Elros do anything to help Glup out? Any magic? Is Elros still down there? Can Elros do what Wampy's doing and help guide Glup in?
Yeah, it can help guide Glup in.
Okay. That was a perception plus leadership.
Oh wait, I have 4 dice total right now because of the extra dice. Yeah, let's see here.
All right, that's a 5th die.
Let's see here. 5 dice to get 4 successes on. Let me double check some of the dice I have.
I feel like swinging from a rope is climbing, right?
Yeah.
So I
So
get
is there pips?
4 pips. And does being because being able to see keeps our threshold the same.
Yeah, no threshold penalties for darkness because Glup has the spell on still.
Oh, sweet.
You got it. 7 chests. The whole set.
Hell yeah.
All right. You guys, you land up at the building. You look upon your beautiful horde. Everything seems great. Araxi is still missing. Araxi. It's just too quiet here. There's nobody on the dock. And the door to Lorpin's house is open. You can see that from the roof. What's your play?
Okay, and there's just nothing going on.
Nothing. Maybe
What does
everybody's
Lorpin's
moved
house
on?
look like? Can you just give me like a image of what the house would look like if there
Yeah.
are chimneys or something?
So Lorpin, being an Anu, likes to live on the water, like literally on the water.
Yeah.
While it's not a boat, it is a house. The house is at the end of a pier. It's a wooden sort of shack that has its very own moon pool inside that you're aware of. So Lorpin can enter his home from the ocean without having to actually go up onto the docks. And in fact does have a section of the house that is entirely underwater. It's not much of a living section, it's more of a workshop. But yeah. So basically what you see is you're up on a roof and you see sort of the path below where carts go to like load and unload things, and a dock, and at the end of this dock, the dock widens quite suddenly to accommodate what might be thought of as the front yard with some little potted flowers and things, and this little wooden shack with a tiny little chimney sticking out of the roof. There's no smoke coming out of the chimney, but that's not unusual. Your Anu, you don't really like it hot.
Now, but I was thinking about it more as a point of access if I wanted to go in from the roof.
Possible.
But would I be knowledgeable enough to know, like, this isn't just Lorpin's out to sea or whatever? Like, this is unusual.
Well, you know for a fact that Lorpin's not out to sea because Lorpin's been dealing with the Fishing Guild issue with their conflict with the Teamsters Guild over who gets to load the boats with the mining cooperative's treasure. The Fishing Guild won out on that, but Lorpin would not be out to sea today. Lorpin also would not leave the front door to his house open if he was away.
Right. Okay. So... Araxi's immediately, like, extremely concerned. Is going to get into the water, if that's at all possible from where I'm at.
I mean,
Barry...
You'll have to jump down from the roof and then sort of run across to the dock and then immediately just go over the side of the dock into the water. Yeah.
There's nobody here. Nobody's going to see me.
No.
Just do that. Get into the water. Bury the chest.
Okay.
And sneak it through the water gate, essentially. I'd say sneak in. Araxi's mostly just swimming through in, like, a quiet manner. They're not thrashing, rushing.
Now, I'm not going to make you roll for this, but I just want, for my reference, to know how are you burying the chests? They're the size of matchboxes right now.
Yeah. So Araxi knows that it's going to wear off in an hour.
Yes.
So Araxi's going to dig a big hole. Basically just a big hole in the mud. Okay, to how we were doing the house for when Araxi was sick with Cinder. Except this one's completely sealed off and only Araxi knows where it is.
And where is it? Are you swimming like far away to make this, or are you just going to do this basically under Lorpin's house?
I'm not swimming far out to sea, but it's not right under Lorpin's house. It's like... So you... Basically, you know how we had to go out to sea for that salt mines thing? I know Araxi wasn't there for this, but where we had to, like, attach something under the water, essentially. That was fairly out, like, in the middle of a river.
Oh, yeah. That was... it's not a river. That was actually ocean.
That was actually ocean. It was fairly far out, but not, like, unseeable, right?
Yeah, it was within sight. It's not too bad. Yeah.
That's about where Araxi's going, because Araxi plans on coming back for it pretty soon.
And are you leaving any markers to indicate where it is for you so you can find it?
Araxi's going to write something in Anu, like in the mud. Some, like, Anu symbol, I'd say. Or, like, maybe we have, like, an arrangement of rocks or something that we use to denote.
Like one of the spirits, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Which spirits?
So,
Bear in mind that the
Araxi's of
Anu
the
are not
sky,
super
right?
well developed, so you can make up one if you need to.
Oh. Well, I feel like Araxi would have the spirit of the sky as the main symbol, the one that, like, she would use with Lorpin.
Okay.
Given that that's Araxi's defining feature.
A symbol of the sky spirit marks where the treasure is buried. Okay, very good.
And then come back to Lorpin's house, however long that takes.
It does not take you very long. This is underwater work, which you are exceptional at. So even, like, as agile as you are in the sky, you're an Anu. The water is just a big sky that's easier to move through. So, yeah, you get that done pretty quickly. Are you coming back through Lorpin's moon pool? Or are you
Yes.
going to go back up onto the dock?
The moon pool.
Okay. All right, you come up through the moon pool. The house is dark. The only light is coming in through the doorway from the outside.
Do I still have the night vision from earlier?
Because you took the time to bury the treasure, it has worn off.
Okay.
Sorry. So you do not have night vision, but you do see Lorpin in the light coming in through the door. Lorpin's head is down, his hands are behind his back, and he's sort of raises his head to look at you, and from the shadows says, Araxi. And he says this in Anu. He says, I wish you hadn't come. And Lorpin takes a step forward, and the light reveals that behind Lorpin is a crimson guard that is holding Lorpin's hands, which have been handcuffed behind him. The guard advances towards the door with Lorpin, and more guard are revealed in the light behind. A total of 4 of them. The one furthest in the back says, Cuff his accomplice. It's coming with us too. The way it called you an it did not sound friendly. It did not sound like the Celebrans you've... I mean, you don't like the Celebrans anyway, but most of them at least like think of you as a person. And this had that sort of sour, bitter, it's livestock, it's an object, it's a frog, it's not one of us kind of tone to it.
Do I have any opportunity to react?
You do, but there are 2 of them that are going to be coming at you in this moment. So your reaction is, it got to be immediate, and it's got to be the one thing that you do, because you don't get to do a lot of planning or multiple complicated things.
Dive through the moon door!
Where am I in the area of the room where I could just do that?
No, you've come up out of it and into his main room.
Where's the fireplace?
The fireplace you could access. So they're blocking you as they come out of the shadows. They're blocking you from going back into his back room and his workshop where the moon pool is. But the fireplace they have not blocked. They also... the front door is only blocked by the one that's escorting Lorpin. So if you wanted to do something there, that's also an option. But the fireplace is completely unguarded at the moment.
Araxi wants to dive through the fireplace and climb up the chimney.
Okay.
I'm so glad I asked about the chimney. I did not think this was what I was going to need it for.
You thought you were going in through the chimney.
Yeah.
Alrighty. You emerge onto the roof. You see the Crimson Guard. It's a woman. She very young. As the light hits her from the chimney, this is like barely a teenager. Like they're older than you are, but these are not adults. These are like trainee kids because the adults are all at war. This is what's left. And they've been given authority, which has definitely gone to their heads. This one looks up, says, it's making a run for it, and reaches into a pouch on her waist, pulls out a strip of a blue paper, and sticks it to her boot, and then starts climbing up the inside of the chimney with the skill of an Anu.
All right.
You're now on a roof. There's ocean all around you, which is very friendly seeming. There is the very unfriendly seeming city, and there's Lorpin being escorted down the docks by a Crimson Guard.
Is there anything on the roof that, like, is within range, like something I could maybe throw down a chimney.
Anywhere else in the city, you might find a loose shingle, but this is
Yeah.
Lorpin's house. And Lorpin takes pride in
okay.
his work. He made it himself, and he is a man of the sea. Everything is ship shape and exactly as it should be.
The skill of an Anu, but I think I can outrun it. But roughly how much of a lead do I have on her?
1 round's worth of action.
Okay. I'm a small Anu. I can get out, I imagine. And I'm basically just gonna make a fucking break for it.
Cool. What direction are you
If
going?
you'll allow me to, I would also like to, or actually has a sharpened stick from a very long time ago in their inventory. If you'll allow me to, as part of the same action, I'll throw it down the chimney at her. But if not, like as I go, like I come out, just drops and go.
Yeah, I mean, if you drop it, then you drop it. If you're going to try and actually do damage, you'd have to stay there to throw it, and you'll risk being caught.
It's more going to be I'm going to drop it to hopefully like impede in some way. Like they'll have to make an adjustment because
Okay.
it's a small chimney, I imagine.
Yep. And it is a sharp stick. This is pretty much just a sort of luck check here. It scratches her cheek and leaves a scar.
Yeah. All right, and I'm going to run. In the direction of the caravan.
Okay, so you're going to go down the docks.
Yeah, I'm going to go down the docks,
And towards the
as
city.
I'm running, I'm just not anything I can like quickly knock over. I'm hitting. We're talking commotion here.
All right. So you sprint basically past Lorpin. You hear Lorpin. Lorpin's the guard that's on Lorpin can't stop guarding Lorpin to catch you. So they're just holding tight to Lorpin's hands behind his back, which are in cuffs, but still like this is an Anu next to the water, so the guard is being very careful.
Yeah.
So the guard makes no attempt to stop you. Lorpin does, verbally. Lorpin says, "Araxi, don't resist." You can take that however you want.
Is it an Anu?
Yes.
Okay.
And that actually seems to not be winning him points with his captor, who says, "Speak the common tongue. Stop giving your assistant secret orders." All right, so the one on the roof has to basically leaps down, and is running along the dock. The other two have come out the door and are running beside. They all go around Lorpin, so there's 3 of them that are coming at you from behind. You reach where the dock meets the road. You're at the city. You can go into the city, down any of the streets, or you can turn in either direction and stay along the pier.
Oh, I am going straight for the caravan. route.
All right, so you head into the city.
If I have like access to a roof, like a rooftop or something, I could quickly scramble up. I might be using that, but like mostly I'm just heading towards the caravan and hoping to get lost there.
Well, that is the next question, because this is Araxi. If you want to be on the roof, you can be on the roof. That's not
Yeah.
a problem for you.
That's basically what I'm going to be doing.
All right. So you go up on the roof. You see, as you're climbing up the roof, you get a chance to like check over your shoulder without losing any speed. And you see that the one who had used the blue pad on her boot is still running after you. The other 2 have taken out pads of their own. One of them's yellow, the other is green. And they've stuck those to their boots as well. The green one then jumps like an Anu, like leaps into the air, and the one that used the blue pad climbs up the side. In the chimney, you thought, she's climbing like an Anu. Now that you see her coming up the side of the building, it looks more like a spider.
Right.
Which is to say that it's more about the suction of sticking to the wall than it is like raw jumping power. Whereas the one with the green pad, they are jumping. They're literally leaping up into the sky at Anu level heights.
Anu level heights or Araxi level heights?
We're going to say Anu level heights. It is a jump spell, but it's not like acrobatic the way that Araxi is. For example, they can't glide after a jump. They just get into the air. So it puts him on the building, but it doesn't give him like your kind of kite-like flighting.
Yeah, I'm just going to make use of the gliding ability in order to, I can cross the alleyway. You've got to go down and up again, basically.
Cool. So you're on the roof. Now, the one that put the yellow pad on, you didn't quite get to see what they did. But yeah, you are heading across a building. There's a gap where there's a street below. You can just clear that gap easily. Actually, the one who can jump also is able to clear it. The spider climb one does not. She has to actually go down and up the other side, but she's able to do it at a full sprint. She can just sprint down the side of one building and up the side of the next. And then, as you're in the air over the alley, you see just a blur of motion as somebody moving at superhuman speeds across the ground zips into a new spot and stops, and has to stop and look around as though they're not sure how far they just traveled, and then they lock eyes on you, figure out where you're heading, and zip towards that again. They're getting up in front of you.
Well,
It's also worth noting that they are maneuvering like this while wearing chainmail armor with a full iron shield on their backs and swords on their hilt.
Araxi's going to almost wait for the two pursuers from behind to catch up, and then go back, essentially. Backtrack rooftop or two.
Okay. You
Basically,
do like
Araxi's just going to
as they're
try and
diving
run
at you?
loops. If you've ever played Dead by Daylight, Araxi's basically running loops here.
I have not, but yeah, I get the idea.
Yeah.
So they see you sort of flip back over them, doubling back, and you immediately see one of them go to a little jewel that's hanging from the collar of their uniform and say something. You don't hear what they said into the jewel, but it seems like they have a communication system as well.
Araxi's basically just going to run these loops and try and get to where Araxi can be lost, which is basically the big crowd, essentially.
All right. Well, you've doubled back, which means that you're now kind of headed back towards the pier. But
I'm not entirely doubling back. I'm just trying to get him off course, like the guy who ran.
So
I doubled back 2 rooftops and then went a different direction.
The problem that you're encountering right now is that the two that are able to stay on the roof with you are in communication with the super fast one.
Yeah.
And the super fast one is able to get ahead of you no matter what direction you move in.
Yeah.
It's kind of a stalemate because the super fast one's not on the roof.
Yeah.
But they've also got communications, which means it's only a matter of time before more join them.
Okay. Do I know a good locations? I mean,
You spent the previous day scouting the
Yeah.
entirety of the rooftops of the city. You know it inside and out.
what am I looking for? I guess is the question right now. I'm really looking for a place where I can break line of sight.
Place where there's tons of chimneys.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go into somebody's house that would break line of sight. And yeah, down a chimney, that'll do it. There's also windows. You could also go into an alley. But that breaks line of sight, but that puts you at risk of the fast one.
Yeah. My really bad idea is telling me stow away on the cards. I think I'm going to avoid that one. If there's like an open door or something, or actually, like, you know how like these are like big buildings. Araxi's basically going to go in one, out the window into another one, ideally, if there's a spot like that available.
All right, make a exploration plus perception check.
Is this just to see if I see it or to accomplish it?
Well, you know the layout, so this is to see if you're able to find one that you remember from studying the layout.
But what I'm looking for is more like one on the go, like where there's a bunch of open windows and stuff. Other than
Okay.
I'm not going to a specific location. Going, and when I see one with a bunch of windows, I maintain stalemate actually until I get that opportunity.
In that case, make it investigation plus perception.
Only have 2 dice for this, but I still bet that I get my pips. Do I get pips for climbing as well during this?
Yes.
All right. Unless I roll truly terribly, I should be fine.
Okay, yeah, you find an open window that has an open window on the other side of the building.
Yeah, I really have to chain this into multiple rooms. At some point, they'll just not be able to keep track of which room I've gone into and out of.
All right. So now you're going to make you're losing them in a crowd roll as you try and you now are in the midst of city buildings. So you're going to try and make maneuvers that can lose them. This is definitely agility plus crime.
Crime?
Agility plus crime. They can see you. It's not a stealth check. This is agility plus crime to confuse them.
All right.
To perform a full body version of sleight of hand. It's the cup and it's the cup and shells game. Only you're using buildings and a frog.
I'm definitely adding my athletic potential onto this, though.
Yes, for sure.
Do I still get my climbing pips for... I imagine there's still climbing portions.
Yes.
All right.
Those pips are working for you.
When it comes to adding pips on, Araxi's far and away my best character at that.
All right, this is their spotter reporting your location to give dice to their runner. And this is their chaser trying to steer you towards their runner to be caught. So the runner gets an additional 5 dice. And you beat them by 1. They rolled badly.
That's very fortunate.
So you think that they have lost you. Yeah. Go ahead and narrate. How did you manage to get hidden from them?
So basically, Araxi started, like, as I said, jumping in and out of windows. You know, she runs through a kitchen and, like, there's some poor, scared, like, person in there who's just like, oh my god, what? As Araxi just scatters across all of their, like, they have like a knife collection of like kitchen knives, and that just goes everywhere. And like this one, the window is only partially open, and Raxi just crashes through it, just pure adrenaline. Um, so there's some property damage now on the rap sheet. And like at one point, like they get into a pattern where they're going window to window to window to window to window, and then Araxi just doesn't go through the last one, whereas the runner does. Runner goes in, Araxi can still see like just from like they're hanging on like above the window looking down, and the runner sees him investigate that room because they don't see Araxi come out, they don't see Araxi come in. And then when they go to investigate Araxi's room, Araxi goes to where they've already investigated and hides. And eventually, I imagine they stop looking. Or Araxi at least thinks they've stopped looking.
Eventually, it seems like they've stopped looking, as far as you can tell. Obviously, you're stuck in a room, so you don't have a lot of good intelligence about what's going on outside of it.
I can basically just see what I could see out of the window. I'm like hanging above the window almost.
Yep.
Looking down through it. If you'll allow me, I would also like to be in the rich part of town.
She's just hiding. She's hiding vertically inside somebody's decorative vase. You know.
you, if you want to, you can just by chance be in the home of that
Sure.
that Smith that you guys. Yeah. What are the chances, right?
The people we collect the taxes from?
Yeah.
Yeah, the people that you turned in for filing a false tax report. Yeah.
I would like that.
Okay.
And basically, Araxi's just going to hide here for the night, I imagine.
During the day, the most of the activity is in the basement where the forge is. But at night, the family comes home, and they start occupying the upper floors. If you'd like to relocate to the basement, you can make a stealth check. Or if at night you want to just leave and take your chances, you can...
At night, I want to relocate, like, to the ceiling, like, where that chandelier was. If you remember where I hid the prior time when they came into the room, that's essentially where I want to be.
I know you're in Anu, but if you're going to stay on the ceiling for an entire day, I definitely need to see some athletics checks for you.
Okay, that's fair. How? Just one, or?
Your difficulty is 1 per hour that you're going to stay there.
Okay, so Araxi is going to take breaks when the rooms are empty, is the thing.
Okay.
Alright. It's mostly going to be when they come into that room. And it's the safe room, so they probably aren't spending a lot of time in here, right?
They're a wealthy family, and the kids are going to want money.
Yeah. Alright.
These are not good people. They're not going to spend their night at the fireplace telling stories. It's like, Mummy, I need to buy a new horse and carriage to take Karen to the countryside, as we used the last one yesterday. I can't use the same horse and carriage in 2 days in a row. It would be uncouth.
Okay, so 2. I've got 6 die. I'm assuming that Lorpin's pips apply for this entire adventure here.
Yes.
So assuming I take breaks between, like, when the rooms are empty.
Okay. Yeah, so you don't sprain anything trying to do
I'm
that.
just mostly looking to have the house go to sleep.
Okay. So you can add those as pips to your stealth check.
Right. When the house goes to sleep, I want to basically leave.
Alright, so you're going to be making 2 stealth checks then. One against the house, which is just a fixed number. They're not looking for you. And then you're going to be making your check to go through the city.
Wish I had one more character point. I really wish I did. Don't. One more, I get attack complete.
Remember, too, you get 5 pips for the first one because you use the ceiling against them. Their only weakness. Nailed it. The family has no idea you're even there.
My. Oh no. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm check. Like, I'm still using rooftops and stuff. Like, natural.
Dang.
I'm still adding my athletic potential to these because of my talent.
Yeah.
Or not my talent, my trait.
You're almost home.
God damn.
Oh,
You're-
I was not going home.
Where were you going?
I was going to the water.
To the water? You're almost to the water then, when they catch you.
I just want. Do they catch me or do they spot me?
Catch you.
Okay.
You were very close. You were a block away. You could smell the salt. And you didn't even see them. You go to make a jump, and a hand grabs your wrist out of the air, leaping up out of an alleyway, and you end up falling down towards a very fast-moving person who stuffs you in a bag. You can fight against this. They are people. They're not gods. You can injure them in the process.
I mean,
But they pulled off an-
Araxi is kicking it, basically doing everything possible to break free for just a second.
Cool. You can make a melee attack against them.
All right.
You do see that one of them still has a scar on her cheek, although the blood has stopped, but the injury is still there.
Do I get to add my athletic potential to this?
Only if you're fighting to escape, not if you're fighting to injure.
I am fighting to escape.
Okay, then yes, you may.
I don't get my climbing pips, but I'm still imagining I get my Lorpin pips.
I'm going to roll to see what you're rolling against.
I'm probably a little outclassed here. I'm assuming this is Vigor plus melee, right? Or is it Agility plus melee?
This would be agility. I'm sorry, no. You're trying to escape vigor. They rolled terribly. All that effort to ambush you, and they can't even keep you in a bag. Yeah, you break free. You get maybe 2 steps, and then you are hit from behind by a unreasonably fast-moving fist. It is just a punch. They're not using their sword. That is 3 attacks coming your way.
I'm going to apply the entirety of that to resist.
Okay. You resist it then. They punch you and you just stiffen up and take it.
And I guess remove the cheese. Except this time I'm going to the wall eventually. And I'm just going to stay in the water as long as I can.
All right, so you head towards the water. You get another couple feet when a shockwave of magical nature knocks you to the ground. you sustain a 5 tax.
So
Injury.
I can apply the.
Because this is a magical area effect, you do
Yes.
not have to apply this to one thing. You can spread it out.
I could spread it out. Okay.
But it does knock you prone no matter what.
Okay. It does not be prone.
From prone position, you can see that one of them has taken their shield off their back, is holding it in front of them, and has activated some kind of key on the magical shield.
I'm going to apply a couple of it to health, I think. I can put it to other things than resist, avoid, notice, right?
Yep.
It's just if I'm using those, I have to use all of it into those, right? I'm
No.
just making sure I understand.
Resist and avoid and notice are special, and that they can lower things before you apply them. They're
Okay.
Yeah.
Going to apply a couple of it to health. It's a risk.
2 of them have taken their actions against you as you tried to flee. There is a third one standing there, and the third one has drawn their sword, and they're smiling that kind of give me an excuse kind of smile.
Araxi's about to give him an excuse.
All right.
I can't apply it to composure, right? That's what I can't do, right?
I don't see I mean,
Araxi is doing this out of sheer spite and determination.
yeah, this is more of a physical hit.
Yeah. It's a physical hit, but could Araxi shrug it off through sheer mental determination, is what I'm asking.
Yeah, okay. You grit your teeth. If you're doing it through sheer mental determination, though, then you're basically just gripping the ground and refusing to move, as opposed to like running.
Oh, okay, that's fair. In that case, I guess you know what. I'm going to argue that Araxi perceived enough of it to diminish it a little bit there, because I don't have to put it all into one because this is magical.
Right. It's an area of effect thing, yeah.
And then I'm going to tax my vigor as well.
Okay.
And I can tax it to 0, it's just I can't tax below 0, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Meanwhile, everybody else has had a really great day. Bringing your treasure back to the Thieves Guild, they count it up for you. They, of course, take their cut, present you with it. Miss Maybell actually comes down to sign the paperwork for it because as your caretaker, she's responsible for it. But a portion of the amount that she has holding in trust for you is doled out for you to use immediately. And so all of the participants who are there at the end of that, all of you get 20 precious coins.
Hell yeah.
And 10 valuable gems. Or precious gems. Whatever it is. I don't know, one of them's
20 valuable coins and 10 precious gems,
Right.
or the reverse?
20 valuable coins, 10 precious gems, yeah. There were no gems in the treasure itself. The Thieves Guild is actually just using the gems as a way to consolidate the incredibly large quantity of currency that they're dealing with. So, so that they don't have to hand you quite so many bags. They're just using a higher denomination of bill, basically.
I'm kind of surprised Miss Maybell's just like, oh, cool, yeah, you totally just pulled off a crazy heist.
It's
She's
part of
just like-
sleeper culture too. I mean, we're working in service of one of the major guilds in the town. Like, it's a job.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
She's like, good job, kid.
So you guys are becoming productive members of society.
Yeah. All in a day's work.
You executed a tax collection. None of you got hurt. And she's certain that Araxi will be home from school any moment now.
Ooh, you're gonna get in trouble with Mom. She's gonna get that call from the police station. Ooh.
I wonder
As any unruly teenager should.
Because that is like your that is your sliver of what your cut was of the take. That should give you an idea of how much money Araxi buried out in the ocean.
Oh man, and I thought Gelros or Clef would be the one in jail first.
It was always going to be Glup or Araxi. Let's be fair.
All right, back on the street.
I have one question because I forgot about this. The bracelet of magical protection that you gave us.
Yes.
What's the deal with that? How does that work?
Unfortunately, because what was triggered was only magical in the shield, and it became a sonic pulse after it left the shield, the bracelet was unable to mitigate it in any way.
Okay, that's fair. I just remembered I did ask about that, and I wasn't sure about the exact effect. All right.
All right, so they're coming at you. The one still has a sword drawn, and they're looking for an excuse to stab you. One of them has a bag, the other has cuffs. You have a sense that if you accept the cuffs, they at least won't put you in the bag, as they did escort Lorpin out in cuffs.
I guess I have to decide, like, right here, right now, how determined Araxi is for her cause. And I think this is the... Had they not called Araxi it, Araxi would submit at this point. But because they did it, Araxi is going to make them beat her unconscious.
Okay.
Araxi is basically... If Araxi can get to the water, Araxi still believes in herself. But
there's three of them.
Araxi's going to make a break for it anyway, though.
Okay. The next hit's coming with a sword.
Yeah.
And I need to take a second really quick to look up how many pips I put on the sword, because I didn't put it in the right notes file. This is, by the way, the same sword that is available for purchase to backs if you get a mastery die. Or a mastery token thing. Quality 6 with durable, honed, reliable, and sharp. Okay.
We're scared.
Alright, it's only 5.
Alright.
But if any part of it narratively touches you physically, it's 6.
So when I put stuff into Resist Avoid Ghost, I have to put the entire amount into it for melee stuff?
Not resist, avoid, and notice. Those are the only exceptions. Right. You can partially mitigate it there. But if this touches your health, then it has to go all into your health, and it's going to be 1 success higher because this is a sharp weapon.
All right. I have exactly enough resistant or avoided notice left to take it. If
All
that
right,
allows me
you
enough time
notice
to get up.
you notice the blade is coming, and you're able to dodge. Unfortunately, that dodge doesn't put you any closer to the water.
Yeah.
They're corralling you again. They're on all sides.
Does this allow me an action, though?
It does allow you an action.
All right.
All three of them have taken their action. You get to try something. Put some dice on the table, see what you can do.
Go use Grasshopper here.
Okay.
Because why not? Basically, just get up in the air and glide. I
Right.
assume you want to roll for that still.
Yes.
This would be probably agility.
Probably.
I'm gayed up and.
I could see an argument for athletics to get extra height, but I think this is mostly about agility. You really
agility,
you
acrobatics,
you're
right?
wanting to avoid, yeah. Yeah. Acrobatics, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, that was not my best roll, but. If they restrain Arax, he probably doesn't have enough to get anything back.
Their jumper is not able to grab you. So one of them jumps up into the air to try and get you, and they miss. You go into your glide. Their climber, however, has the shield and is able to give a pulse through the air that hits you mid-air, knocking you into a new trajectory. It is 2 more than what you've got, so you're not able to recover.
I don't have the. I don't even know if Weeble Wobble would apply, but I don't have the character point to use here.
Yeah, you only have to take 2 because your roll of 4 handled most of it, but you lose your glide, and the fast one is underneath you before you can get control again.
I will let these last 2 go to health and fall unconscious.
Okay. Zero what you need to zero to be unconscious, or just let it happen.
That just happens to be health in this case.
Yeah, all right. You take a significant blow to the head, and you're unconscious. As the kids are getting back, a member of the... it's actually a member of the Thieves Guild that comes and delivers a note to Miss Maybell. And her face goes white. She looks to the kids and says, by the way, it's in the morning that the letter comes, but Araxi's been missing all night. She's going crazy. She finally gets the word in the morning of where Araxi is, from the Thieves Guild, not even from the Crimson Guard. Amongst the things that all of you guys have learned since you got back to the house with your treasures is that the events that preceded that caravan leaving caused absolute chaos in the courthouse. The guilds all hate each other now for some reason. You haven't gotten a clear sense of it, but even the Fishing Guild hates the Crimson Guard. The Crimson Guard hate the Thieves Guild. it's confusing as hell. There's weird rivalries between guilds that have never had anything to do with each other. Like, the Fishing Guild and the Rights and Properties Guild, they don't even interact. And they have some kind of crazy feud about something from events that happened yesterday. It's nothing you guys were involved in. It's something that happened over the courthouse while you were doing the robbery. But it's made the city suddenly a very different place. Araxi never got home. Miss Mabel's going nuts, and when Dawnblight hasn't even touched the sky yet, it's that early in the morning, she finally gets a message from the Thieves Guild that Araxi has been taken into custody by the Crimson Guard. She rounds up all of the kids, says, "We are going to the courthouse, and we are going to get Araxi back."
Yes.
So that will be next week's adventure, is recovering Araxi. I'm going to be honest here. When I wrote out this section with Lorpin, it all happened off camera. I did not expect Araxi to get involved in that. That was a surprise to me, that when you decided to take the treasure and just go to Lorpin, I was like, on this day? Oh, shit. That's not going to go well. So this is going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what happens. You guys are going to get to see Miss Maybell wielding her powers again, only this time it's not in a city that thinks she's a witch or has magic powers or is in any way afraid of her. So it's going to be a much, much harder situation than before, and she's definitely going to need the help of you kids.
Araxi took 19 taxes in that, combined between the heist and the fleet.
Now here's a cool thing. All of the tools they were using against you are available for you guys to get as characters. The patches they were using to get the jump spell, the spider climb spell, and haste on their boots. Those are all sold by the Applied Thaumaturgy Guild. And there's at least one of you, I think a couple of you, get an employee discount over there. Additionally, the shields and swords they use are standard Crimson Guard equipment that Bax and the other one. Damn it, Troy, what's your character's name?
Nina?
No, Crystalzar.
Crystalzar, yes. Bax and Crystalzar can get access to the sword and the magical shield with the blast wave spell. Those are available. So all of these fun toys that just were used to disadvantage Araxi and gang up on her. Let's be honest, that was a really unfair fight. They should have come at you one at a time like ninjas do.
Yeah. I just stopped away for a second. Did they tell them did they say exactly what they were holding up Araxi for?
No.
Or Lorpin, for that matter.
They referred to Araxi as Lorpin's accomplice. Yeah. And Lorpin went without a fight, and tried to get Araxi to go without a fight as well.
Yeah, Lorpin knows he did. Whatever happened, he knew this was going to happen.
How much
It sounds like.
How much of Lorpin's past does Araxi know? I think is an important question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
We actually know because we had this conversation in the prior episode. He was smuggling between the two cities, so this might be his past catching up on him.
Ooh.
I don't think it's this one.
It wasn't exactly smuggling he was doing between the two cities.
I mean, I think Araxi knows that Lorpin was a pirate, and like that. It's just, I guess, how much of the details did Lorpin tell Araxi? I think that's a question for Dave more than me.
Well, for a fact, Lorpin did tell you guys that Lorpin was using the treasure left over from his pirating days to pay off local bandits to not turn him in to the Celebran authorities. So there were local bandits around the town of Oakbrine that knew what Lorpin did, knew where Lorpin was, and he was paying them basically a blackmail money to not turn him in. But then the moon fell, and everybody moved to Celebre, and he did his best to integrate himself into the fishing guild. But yeah, his past has apparently caught up with him. Or has it? Perhaps he is falsely accused. We'll find out next week.
Of course.
And next week, I'm also going to talk about your rewards here. It took us 3 sessions, so I'm actually going to I'm going to award for every player. This is not for every character, because some of you pulled out multiple characters. Every player is going to be awarded either your choice of a renown for your characters. Don't apply this yet. We're going to take care of all this next session. Just letting you know ahead of time. You're all going to get a renown. If you had multiple characters, instead you'll get 3 character points to distribute amongst the characters, however you want to.
Nice.
But you are quite famous, as you quite famously executed a heist against an extremely high power player.
Yeah, we ran circles around them and we're children.
Yep.
Yeah.
Primarily through innovation, as you developed this awesome magical rope that solved a lot of problems.
We're very talented children.
Okay, I am going to go ahead and stop the recording, and we'll pick up next week.
Indeed.